there, good evening and welcome to Superscreen News at 6, broadcasting to you live from Lagos, Nigeria. I am Blessed Amonose. The presidency has published a document reeling out President Muhammad Buhari's achievements during his 3 years in power. The presidency says the Nigeria economy is back and is on the path of growth after the reception of 2016-2017. It also said the Buhari administration priorities sectors of agriculture and solid minerals maintain consistent growth throughout the recession, adding that inflation has fallen for the 15th consecutive month, while the nation's external reserves are at their highest level in 5 years, currently double the size of October 2016. United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has pledged its commitment to end violence against children in Nigeria ahead of the 2018 Children's Day. UNICEF Deputy Representative in Nigeria, Isiye Ndombi, disclosed this in an interview with a journalist in Abuja. Ndombi decried violence against children in the country and promised that the organization is determined to mobilize the will and resources to tackle all forms of violence against children wherever it occurs. Still on the Children's Day celebration, the Nigerian Senate has urged the federal government to intensify efforts at securing the release of Leah Sharibu, the only Dapchi school girl still in Boko Haram captivity. The lawmakers are also seeking expedient action by the government to secure the release of the remaining Chibok schoolgirls also in the custody of the Boko Haram insurgents. This resolution followed a motion on 2018 Children's Day celebration sponsored by Chairman Senate Committee on Women Affairs, Senator Binta Garba, and 9 others during plenary.
The Senate recognizes the importance of developing the Nigerian child through the passage of legislation such as the Child Rights Act 2003, which defines a new child protective system and allows opportunities for the participations of children in the matters that concerns their rights and welfare. The Senate notes that the 27th of May each year is observed as Children's Day in Nigeria. The Senate is aware of the significant role of the Nigerian child in the nation's development and the need to lay a good foundation for them. The Senate recognizes the importance of developing the Nigerian child through the passage of legislation such as the Child Rights Act 2003, which defines a new child protective system and allows opportunities for the participations of children in the matters that concerns their rights and welfare.
The Child Rights Act provides for the welfare of the Nigerian child. But today, we find that the Nigerian child is still a basic target for all sorts of violence. There is violence in terms of they are the target of kidnapping in the society, as we have seen in the case of the Dapchi schoolgirls. On this day, we would call on a commitment to the implementation of these various acts that are supposed to protect the child, the Nigerian child, from these various forms of violence.
While other lawmakers in their contribution decried the number of children out of school across the country, Senate President Bukola Saraki called for continued love and care for the Nigerian child.
I want to appeal to well-meaning Nigerians to partner with their various governments, federal, state, local governments, and see how we can tighten the security apparatuses in most of the schools, and at the same time provide a conducive environment for our children.
I believe that our children, they deserve more, and we will start from this chamber itself. We have to assign every senator to take maybe a number of rice to an IDP camp and do what is needful.
Please let us work to see that Child Rights Act is passed in all our 36 states, because as we say, there's a lot of violence that we're seeing against our children. This is an area that we need to work very hard on. And lastly, as we said, is for us to continue to ensure the security of our country, because they are the most vulnerable in areas of security challenges. Let us live up to our own part of our responsibilities in ensuring that we make our children healthier, we make them we give them the best education so that they have a bright future.
The Senate President also called for the laying of a foundation for a bright future for the children. On the Child Rights Act, Saraki queried why some states were yet to pass into law, calling on such states to ensure speedy passage. And now to politics. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Ekiti State has alleged that the All Progressive Congress APC government is plotting to fund the June 14 governorship election with the part of the Abacha loot and funds from the country crude oil sales. The party said the appointment of Kebbi State Governor Atiku Bagudu as the chairman of the committee is a demonstration of the APC love for corruption. Chairman of PDP Ekiti State, Boyega Oguntuashe, also disclosed this to journalists, said that it is funny that a party that claimed to be fighting corruption can appoint someone who is declared wanted in the United Kingdom for fraud to lead its campaign in Ekiti. The chairman said Governor Bagudu allegedly opened several bank accounts with Dutch Morgan Greenfield Bank where funds stolen from Nigeria were lodged, but falsely claimed that the Jude funds were proceeds from his legitimate private businesses in oil and trading. Indigenes of Numan community have staged a peaceful demonstration to the National Assembly to protest the incessant killing in Anambra State. The protesters called for the immediate intervention of President Muhammadu Buhari to put a stop to the suspected Fulani herdsmen killings. Spokesperson for the group, Gaba Yandemadudun, urged the federal government to place high premium on human lives and properties.
It is pertinent to note that the number of those killed in Old Man Federation is far higher than those killed in any part of the country by the suspected Fulani herdsmen. Several settlements, namely Bang, Gon, Bolki, Nzumosu, Nega, and Waduku, were attacked by these same herdsmen. While the first 4 communities were completely burned down, Waduku was spared by divine providence, but 4 lives were lost. Ever since this continuous invasion started, our people no longer sleep with their 2 eyes open, for fear that they could be attacked at any time. Consequently, our young men no longer sleep in the comfort of their homes, but on hills, tree tops, and in bushes at the risk of snake bites and attacks by other dangerous animals, all in their efforts to stave off such attacks and to defend their God-given land. We are saying that this is an attempt to conquer us and take our land and turn it into cattle colonies.
On his part, Chairman, Lamudi Local Government Area, Reverend Arnold Ijibila called for the establishment of security outfits and provision of relief materials for those affected.
If you go to our community as we speak now, our communities have virtually deserted. You go there, the people cannot come back to their born homes, born houses. Virtually, most of them are putting up in forests. Some of them are putting up in the open fields because virtually these communities have been razed down, and so the situation there is too bad that the people cannot go to farm. Nobody can dare go to farm. They can't dare go back to their houses because of the fear of attacks.
Chairman of Lamodi, Reverend Arnold Ijibila, speaking there. Moving on now, the Joint Health Sector Union, JOSU, has confirmed receiving an order of interim injunction from the National Industrial Court, NIC, compelling it to immediately resume duties. Chairman, Assembly of Healthcare Professionals Association, AHPA, Godwin Okara, who disclosed these to journalists, said the notice was served on the union on Friday. However, Okara said JSUD had before the receipt of the NIC ordered filed court processes before the same court and the Court of Appeal on May the 21st, challenging the local standing of the Kingdom Human Rights Foundation International and the jurisdiction of the Court of Entering the suit. Okara also expressed concern over the persistent attempt by the Nigerian Medical Association (NMA) to misinform the public through malicious fabrication of accusation and the blatant lies that JSUD members had locked up theaters, consulting rooms, laboratories, and wards. Meanwhile, Senate President Bukola Saraki says the Senate and the National Assembly will ensure that the right thing is done to end the strike embarked upon by the Joint Health Sectors Union, JOESU. Saraki disclosed these after a meeting with the leadership of JOESU, Minister of Health Isaac Adewole and Minister of Labour Chris Ngige. Chief Press Secretary to the Senate President, Sani Onogun, said Saraki's meeting with Adewole and Ngige was meant to hear their side of the issue and to forge a way forward, not only to end the strike, but to ensure that there is a lasting peace and industrial harmony in the nation's health institutions. Innocent Chukwuma has appealed a judgment of the Lagos High Court declaring him wanted. Chukwuma has also proceeded to the Court of Appeal to challenge the order. In his reaction to the court's judgment, Chukwuma described the actions as predetermined in order to humiliate him. Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) has preferred charges bordering on forgery and fraud against the businessman arising from a business dispute between Chukwuma and GT Bank. A similar charge on the same subject matter, transaction and issues, is ongoing at the Federal High Court's Lagos Division between the same parties. This is Superscreen News at 6. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll bring you business news. Stay with us.
Before they come, they're supposed to, give us some information, notice, at least maybe a week or so. There was nothing like that.
Hunger is everywhere in Nigeria. People are dying every day, but Nigerian government are keeping quiet. Housemen are killing people. Why?
It's not what we expected because of these old men that are leading us, and you people know, you are aware that these people are not the right people to lead us. These kind of people that are leading us here are people of black mind. They just care about themselves and their family.
You are affecting my village. Let me use if I call it useless, I'm not to mistake. The other place where they build a shop, call it plaza. Each shop there are 4 million naira. So I don't have the money, so I have to leave.
If you plan to get a tribal mark, it takes a lot of pain, but after some time, you enjoy it. We experience hold up now during the construction time. Then after some time, we start enjoying it.
The way they are doing the construction is too slow. It's too slow. The construction is too slow. They should stop the construction and make sure people go into their businesses and do their businesses.
Welcome back, and now to the world of business. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has launched a probe into the controversy surrounding the $60 billion allegedly spent on power projects during the administration of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Obasanjo had earlier in the week declared that he is ready for the investigation after President Muhammadu Buhari suggested that funds emerged from the power project under his tenure were mismanaged. The scope of the investigation includes the total cost of the project, how much was withdrawn from the excess crude account, ECA, the total number of contracts awarded, the extent of the compliance with due process, and the status of the execution of all the projects. Report says the nation's crude oil exports have suffered another setback as Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited has shut down production following discovery of leaks on the pipeline in Delta State. The SDP said it confirmed 4 leak points on its 24 Trans-Ramons pipeline in the swamp of western Niger Delta. According to a statement by the Shell spokesperson, as soon as the leaks were noticed on April 24, the SDP immediately shut down production, deployed containment booms, and mobilized its oil spill response team to clean the site. The pipeline, which supplies crude oil to the Forcados export terminal, has a capacity of around 100,000 barrels per day. And still on business, the Association of Food, Beverage and Tobacco Employers, AFBTE, has lamented the high operational cost of doing business in the country. The body said the business environment in the last 1 year has been toxic, adding that although Nigeria came out of a 15-month recession in the second quarter of 2017, the economic is still weak and fragile. The president of AFBTE, Patrick Enegbe, who disclosed this in a Lagos-listed part of the challenges to include high costs incurred because of non-existing or inadequate infrastructure, arbitrary imposition of multiple taxes, shortage of foreign exchange, and disruption of petroleum product supply. You're watching Superscreen News at 6. We'll take another short break, and when we return, we'll bring you all the news. Join us again.